Okay, welcome back to Operation Thunderclap for turn 6. This is the Japanese. It is now, January of 39. Japan has 2 tech dice to go for. Same turn, we'll be aligning Siam with the Japanese Empire in the production phase. But before we get to that, let's get to our tech. Going for a new one because we're already at stage 2 for construction, so we'll go for radar, and we're gonna go for ships again. See how we go. Our tech is kind of sucked in this game, so here we go. We got 11 and 7. So, yep. Oh, okay. We hit them both. So we hit radar. So we get a radar stage 1. That's nice. And ships go to 2. So we're keeping up with the Americans. So hopefully I can change a bit. We've got 31 in the bank. We're going to spend it all. So we've got 2 Marines for 8. And we've got a militia just sort of clumped up with them, so that's 10. And then we've got infantry for 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 27 for that militia. Then 2 upgrades at 29 and 31. So that's all of our money. Combat, we have a couple of combats. And all right, so we're going to try and sort out this mess here in mainland China because that's been a bit of a disaster for us already. So battle 1 will involve 4 infantry coming from Rihe into Beiping, which is surrounded. So, geez, I should be able to take it this time. Coming into there will be 1 cav as well. Won't be affected by the penalties because the city is surrounded, so it doesn't suffer the -2. 1 artillery and 1 motorized will also join in. So we got a whole stack of stuff in there. Also 2 fighters from Korea will join the battle with a movement of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just going to land back into Korea. So they're from there. So that's battle 1. Let's see, battle 2. It's a bit thinner. We've got a cavalry from Hopei going into Shantung. At the same time, we have 1 infantry. We've also got the infantry from Hopei going into Shantung against that lone militia. Also 2 tacticals from Korea will join in, and they've got a movement of 5 as well from Korea. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they've got plenty of movement back to get back to Korea. That's battle 2. Battle 3 will be the cavalry from Nanking going into Hunan. This transport that is sitting in P32 will pick up 1 infantry, which will also amphibiously assault. We're not going to worry about the double casualties because it doesn't have target select, but we've got 1 infantry going into there. Well, there's only 1, so you can only double target 1 guy, right? So, then joining them will be the bombard. So there'll be a battleship bombarding because we've got 1 ship going. So there's a bombard. And then we've got the fighter and the tactical from the carrier group. So they're going to be into there as well. So with a movement of 4, 1 into there, and they'll just come back into that carrier group. Goodness me, I'm making a right mess here. All right, that'll knock us all down $1 from the US oil. So that's the end of our US oil money. We'll go 1. Let's do that now for Siam. So we've aligned Siam. Okay, so that should be all of our combats. The rest is just going to be non-combat. So let's start with the battle up here in Beiping. All right, so we've got 4 infantry. So there's no river penalties or anything like that. The city is surrounded because there's 3 warships in more than 3 warships in P14, and we own the territories all around it. So let's get to that. So we'll have, how many first strikes? So we've got a first strike of an artillery. So that'll be out of 3. So let's roll that, see if we get the job done. And we get a 2. So after all that hoo-ha and all that preparation, we take Beiping, first strike, and Bei Ping is worth 2, so we go to 26. CCP goes down to 3, and we pick up the Bei Ping bonus. Okay. All right, so that's that first battle done. Not too much trouble. All right, just while I'm here, I'm going to land these planes back into Korea. So there's 2 fighters that's going to come back to Korea, to that airbase. So we take Bei Ping, 4 infantry, a motorized, an artillery, and a cav. All right, so the next battle will be the battle of, let's do the battle in, what's that one, Shantung. So we've got infantry, cavalry, 2 tacticals against a militia. All right, so there's no, the river's on the other side in Hopei. So we've got infantry at a 2. This is cav at a 3. Okay, the cav hits with a 1, and then his defending militia misses with a 10. So this is a bit better. So we take Shantung from the KMT, and that brings us up to 28. KMT goes down to 3, and we get the bonus back for Shantung. And we can put a rondel there. This is looking a bit healthier. All right, so we'll fly the aircraft back. So they are going to just go back to Korea. So they came from Korea back to Korea. So we take Shantung with an infantry and a cav. All right. So the last battle here. We've got the battle here in Hunan down the bottom there. So we've got a bombard from the battleship out of 4. Let's see if we can just get the job done with that. That'd be nice. Hey, now luck's starting to turn, so we get a bombard first strike. So he doesn't defend, so that guy's dead. We take Hunan with no casualties. This is a bit of a better turn so far. So far, so good. Maybe my luck's changing for once. All right, so Hunan's with 2, so we go from 28 to 30, and then we pick up that bonus for Hunan. All right, the fighter and tactical that participated in that battle are just going to land back onto the carrier group here. So they're back onto there. And so Hunan is taken with a infantry and a cav. So that's what we have. Making sure that's correct. I'm pretty sure that was correct. Infantry cav. Yep, okay, cool. All right, let's get to some non-combat. All right, so we have in P15, we have these 2 transports here in a major port are going to pick up 4 infantry. And coming into so from P15, 1 into P32, 2 into P41, and we're going to need a card here because we're going to dump 4 of those infantry. So I might just chip those just so it's not an absolute mess. Where's my green chip? So we've got 4 infantry now going into Kwangtung to join those 2 Marines. All right, so that's that. Then we've got 2 destroyers here that are sitting in P32. They're going to come back and pick up the last 2 Marines and Nanking and dump those coming down into P41. There's 2 destroyers are going to drop those 2 Marines into Kwangtung, which is going to build them up to 4. So now we've got 4 infantry, 4 Marines down there. Trying to get this turn out before I go to work so you guys can crack on. I'll just upload it while I'm on the way to work. All right, so there's all that. Okay, what else we got? All right, so I didn't want to move them. All right, so here in P45, we've got a coastal sub that's going to come up 1 to P36. Okay. All right, so one of the transports that didn't move that was in P32 is going to come up 1 to P15 and go in port. The other transport that was sitting in P14, which also didn't do anything this turn, is going to come back 1 and go into port. That's 2 transports in port. That guy moved, so he's just at sea with the 2 battleships and the fleet carrier. They're all down there. So those guys are in P41. I'm going to definitely put them on the card later. I think that's just about it. Let's get to placing some units. All right, so we're going to put 2 Marines into Kyushu. Oh, that's what we want to do. We're going to fly this tactical into Korea from Kyushu. Sorry about that. All right, 1 militia will go down into Hopei. Okay, so there's that. We've got another militia which is going to go into Kwangtung. Do I need that? I probably don't need that there. No, we'll put it there. All right, so we've got our 2 militia upgrades. The first one will be in Rihe. So that comes off. The next one will be in northern Manchuria. So that comes off as well. So that's our 2 militia upgrades. Then we've got a total of 5 more infantry to place. So I'm going to put 3 of those into Kyushu. 3 of those dudes going down there. 1 of those will be into Rihe, because we haven't used the factory slot yet. And then the last one will be into Tokyo. And actually, while we're out here, there's infantry from Tokyo will rail down to Kyushu. And I think that is that. No, I wanted to move this fleet here that is in P15, consisting of 2 TBDs and a heavy cruiser, light cruiser. They're going to come forward to P16. And I'm making a meal out of everything. All right, let's get to, that's all done. Let's get to a disposition. All right, I can put all that away later. All right, so actually we'll go to income first. So now we're sitting at a base of 30, and we should have a bonus: 1 for Kwangtung, 1 for Hunan, 1 for Nanking, 1 for Shantung, 1 for Hopei, 1 for Beiping. We've lost all of our oil money, so we should be on 36. So there's 6 bonus income and a base of 30. Let's make sure that's correct. So we've got 36 for next turn. And I'll do a disposition. So down here in P60, Fleet Submarine, we've now aligned these Siamese units. So we've got a TBD destroyer and a Fleet Submarine in P50, Militia in Siam. In P41, which will go onto a card. Where did I put that card? Anyway, I'll find that later. Actually, I don't think there's anything on that card right now. So in port, there's 2 heavy cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 2 transports. They're on port in Kwangtung. Kwangtung has 1 militia, 4 Marines, 4 infantry. In P32, 1 transport, 1 fleet carrier with a fighter and tactical, and 2 battleships. Hunan, 1 cavalry, 1 infantry. Shantung, 1 cavalry, 1 infantry. Hopei, 1 militia. Beiping, 4 infantry, 1 motorized, 1 artillery, 1 cavalry. Suyan, 4 infantry. Rihe has 2 infantry. Northern Manchu, 1 infantry. In Korea, there is 3 tacticals and 2 fighters. In P-14, battle cruiser, light carrier with a fighter, heavy cruiser, light cruiser. Okinawa, I think that's Okinawa. Okinawa militia and a seaplane. Volcano, Bonin, militias. Marshall Islands militia, Caroline Islands and Palau militia. Coastal sub P-36, P-22 fleet sub and coastal sub. Tokyo, 1 infantry, P-16, 2 TBDs, heavy cruiser, light cruiser. In port in Kyushu, 2 transports in Kyushu proper. There's now 2 Marines and 4. Yeah, 4 infantry because I railed 1 from Tokyo, that's right. I think that's the lot. All right, turning things over now to, what have we got next? Panzer J with the Brits. Okay, thanks for watching.